right, looks like we're live. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Landrum High School, the site of this afternoon's, gorgeous day for a baseball game between the Landrum High School Cardinals and the Christchurch Episcopal Cavaliers. Should be a fun matchup. First JV game we've streamed for the Cardinals this season. Got a handful of familiar faces on this roster for me personally, because interesting enough, we have actually reached a point in time where the kids that my younger brother grew up playing Little League Baseball with are taking the field for the Cardinals. A couple of familiar names in that regard: Dylan Collins, Titus Poor, and Mark Baker. Mark Baker played basketball for the Cardinals. He was on their JV team, so interesting to see things kind of coming full circle in a lot of ways with kids that I saw, playing in the dugout when they were in first grade or so, with my younger brother now out here in that Cardinal uniform. Again, should be a really, really fun matchup. And it looks like we're actually going to get started just a minute or two behind schedule, which is really, really impressive considering that Christchurch, I believe, was running a tad late. They only got here about 25 minutes ago, came in on a chartered bus and everything. Or at least it looks like a chartered bus from here. I can't quite tell if it's got any Christchurch decals on it or not. But again, they did not have a lot of time to warm up, and especially given that they're going to be taking the plate first, going to be interesting to see how that factors into things as this game gets underway. Until then, everybody's still getting their wits about them. Landrum's players warming up, and looks like we're about ready to roll now. On the mound for the Cardinals, number 20, Matthew Hodges, pitching for Landrum. And we are ready to roll. Jackson Rep going to take the plate first for the Cavaliers. And the first pitch from Hodges, kind of slow and a little too high, trying to get that curveball going, and to no avail there. Count's going to move to 1-0. Rep awaiting his second pitch. And another ball, this one a little to the outside. Move the count to 2-0 for Rep. Hodges has a lengthier windup than some of the other pitchers we've seen. And that's going to be ball 3. Again, you'll watch this. I am, especially because I do so much stuff with arena football, we get told to look at the windup for quarterbacks a lot, how long it takes the ball to leave their hand once they start the throwing motion. So forgive me if I nerd out on that a little bit. And there is strike one knocked by Hodges, so move the count to 3-1 for Jackson Rep. But you'll see right as Hodges starts to pitch, there's a little bit of a hitch when the ball is actually right behind his head. And that can actually translate to some increased throwing power, though maybe a little too much heat on that one. That's going to be ball number 4. And Jackson Rep gets walked to start this one out. So move the count back to 0-0. Eli Kemigan at the plate, number 22 for the Cavaliers at the plate now. We'll see if Hodges can find that balance between power and accuracy on this at bat for the Cavaliers. Runner on first, and they're trying to get him out over at first. He was just barely off the plate, and they still threw that one. I guess trying to kind of make sure he doesn't go anywhere on them. Really not playing too far off of first, and now kind of backing away. So here is the first pitch to Kemigan. And that's going to be a strike. Low into the inside. Nice pitch there by Hodges. And still eyeing first base. Here's pitch number 2 from Hodges. Whoa, that one was way off. Can they get him out at second? This is going to be close. And throw to just not have enough heat on it. Kind of bounced right in the grass right in front of second base. And Jackson Rep able to steal second. So now Christchurch with a runner on second. But 2 strikes notched. They actually counted that second pitch as a strike. So 0-2 count for Eli Kemigan. And Kemigan swings and misses. That'll be the first out notched by Hodges. Headed to the plate now is Will Margaret, I believe. Margaret. Number 21 for the Cavaliers. Again, 1 out and a runner on second for Christ Church. There's the pitch from Hodges, that one low, and trying to steal third is Rep. I think he got it. Yes, he did. Jackson Rep showing off his speed there. In the meantime, that pitch from Hodges goes down as ball number 1. And now awaiting the second pitch. Margaret lets that one go. It'll be ball number 2. And now waiting third pitch. Hodges sends that one way off to the outside and headed for home plate is Rep, and he's going to make it. So a wily pitch is what gives Christ Church their first run of the game. And I tell you what, Jackson Rep, the real MVP so far, effectively 3 stolen bases there. Had 2 clean steals and then a pitch just unable to be brought in, taking advantage of it. Jackson Rep, that might be a name to look out for a couple of years from now when he's on the varsity squad. He has got some wheels. In the meantime, count is at 3-0 for Margaret. So he can swing at just about anything here and be in the clear, and instead he's going to get walked. 4 straight balls thrown by Hodges on that at bat, and now batter number 4, this is J.W. Weisenhunt at the plate for the Cavaliers. Christ Church up 1-0 with a runner on first. We'll pan over so we can see both of them. Here's the pitch from Hodges, and had a nice curve, but curves down a little too much. It's short of the plate. That'll be ball number 1. Weisenhunt taking a moment to step off, kind of weighing his options. Pretty close to the inside of that batter's box. Hodges' pitches have been a tad to the outside. That one to the inside counts as a strike, trying to steal second, and Margaret able to bring it in. Again, just not quite enough heat on that throw. Gotta wonder if the catcher's gear might actually be weighing him down when he's trying to sling it across the field like that. Definitely something to keep an eye on moving forward. Until then, got a 1-1 count for Weisenhunt. Awaiting pitch number 3 from Hodges. Here is pitch number 3, and thought that was a strike. Instead, they call it ball number 2. Move the count to 2-1 now. Hodges eyeing second. And now Landrum kind of backing up a little bit. There's the swing, and they're going to call out a strike. So move the count to 2-2. Hodges with a chance to wrap up this at bat for Weisenhunt. Needs one more good pitch to pull it off. His accuracy has been a bit sporadic. We'll see if he can dial it in here and come up clutch. Hodges still eyeing second. And here's the pitch. Oh, and a hit by Weisenhunt right over to the outfield, and cannot bring it in. That ball is still loose. In the meantime, Margaret is going to bring that one home. It'll go down as a double for J.W. Weisenhunt. And Christ Church pouring it on early, their second run of the first inning. That was just an excellent hit there by Weisenhunt. Ball kind of hung in the air for a little bit. Looked like it might dip down at the last second, and man, he kept his eyes on it and just drilled that one. Excellent, excellent play by the Cavaliers. Move the count back to 0-0. 2 runs notched by the Cavaliers with a runner on second and just 1 out. At the plate now is number 3. This is Lujak Cole. Maybe Cole, not sure. And that's going to go down as strike 1. Hodges finally able to get the curveball working on that pitch. Had a nice downward angle. And still eyeing second. You can tell him. Might be putting some pressure on him. And here's a hit. This one's going straight up. And trying to make the catch. Oh, he lost it in the sun. And Hodges able to clean it up. That one looked rough for the Cardinals for a second, but Hodges able to come over and catch that one. Catcher, again, looked like he might have lost it in the sun there. I tell you, it is a beautiful, beautiful day out here, but the downside is that with no clouds and the sun shining like this, some of these players might need to look into bringing a pair of sunglasses. I can tell that shortstop's got a pair. He's not wearing them right now. They're on his hat. So runner on second, 2 outs, and Hodge is able to notch a strike there. Move the count to 0-1 for batter number 6. This is Ryan Coley for the Cavaliers. Or check that. Nope, I was reading that right. I was looking at the position instead of the jersey number. So Ryan Coley at the plate. And Coley nailing that one, heading it out towards shortstop into the outfield. And the dive, no good. Christchurch is going to score again, make that run number 3. It goes down as a double for Coley. 3-0 for the Cavaliers. Once again with a runner on second. To my knowledge, they actually have not had more than 2 runners on base at any given point in this game. Actually, they may have had one. Not quite sure. I don't think they have, though. So at the plate now, got a lefty. This is Patrick McMaster, I believe. And McMaster lets that one go. It goes down to strike 1 right on the outside of the strike box. And check that. This is actually the designated hitter, Brady Sisson, number 2. Runner on second, 1 strike and 2 outs for the Cavaliers, leading by 3. Here's the pitch from Hodges, and that one goes down to strike 2. Landrum with a chance to wrap it up here. We'll see if Hodges can get another pitch on the outside of that strike zone. Sisson is playing really upright and fouls that one off toward third. Like I said, he was playing really upright, so that gives Hodges a little extra room to work with. Umpire's going to let that strike zone extend a bit further upward than normal. Here is pitch number 4 from Hodges to Sisson. And Hodges lets that one go, and a swing and a miss. And Christchurch's excellent run comes to an end there. And a solid pitch from Hodges to close that one out. But Landrum already with some work to do. Headed into the bottom of the first. Cardinals down by 3. We'll see how the Christchurch pitching game matches up here in just a moment. All right, and we're back. Landrum at the plate now. I believe this is Beckett Driggers headed to the plate for the Cardinals. And now Driggers awaiting the first pitch. trying to get a number of the player on the mound. It's number 20-something for the Cavaliers, and he notches a strike against Driggers on his first pitch from the mound. And Trigger's able to notch a hit. That one gets fouled off toward third, and that was a live ball, but the third baseman unable to track it down. Driggers' count moves to 0-2. And this is Patrick McMaster on the mound for the Cavaliers. And McMaster sends out a little too far to the outside. That'll be ball number 1. Move the count to 1-2 for Beckett Driggers. And make it ball 2. So McMaster started this one out with 2 strikes. Now 2 outside the strike zone. We'll see what they're able to dial up here. Landrum kind of an interesting spot. No runners on base and no outs. Down 3 runs to nothing, and that one way too low. Make it ball number 3. So something's got to give here unless Driggers fouls it off again. 3-2 count between McMaster and Driggers. This is going to be pitch number 6. And that one goes too low. Driggers gets walked. So Landrum has their first runner on base. It's Beckett Driggers heading over to first. And now at bat for the Cardinals is, let me double check my roster here. And looks like we've got a new addition. This is Keem. No first name, or check that, Anderson Keem. There he is. Number 9 for the Cardinals. Keem with a runner on first. And that one too low. So his count moves to 1-0 against McMaster. Driggers playing pretty far off first. They tried to get him there. He is safe. Nice dive there at the end of that one. No pitch thrown. Count is still at 1-0. We'll make sure both of them are in frame here in case Driggers does get something going. And here's the pitch from McMaster. Nope, throwing back to first, and that was really close, and they missed the throw. Driggers is going to walk over to second. And that will be the first stolen base for the Cardinals. Christchurch had a handful, and Landrum returning the favor on the missed throw from McMaster to his first baseman. Cardinals able to notch some offensive momentum there. We'll see if Keem can capitalize on it. After all that, his count is still at 1-0. McMaster's only thrown 1 pitch to him, and it hit the dirt before it got to the plate. So here is the second pitch. Keem showing bunt and got that first baseman cheating up. It goes down as a strike. That one too low for Keem to bring in. Count moves to 1-1. Keem taking a moment to back off, examining his bat, and guess he's got it sorted out now. Driggers playing pretty far off a second. Showing bunt once again, and Christchurch cheats up a little bit, and they send it right to the second baseman. Keem is out, but Driggers able to move the bases over to third. So Anderson Keem's trip to the plate doesn't go quite as well as Beckett Driggers did, but Driggers, again, able to move it over to third. And again, with the speed he showed earlier in this game when he stole second, Christchurch is really only one bad pitch away from letting Driggers steal home plate effectively. Here's the first pitch, and that one almost hits Landrum's third batter. I believe that's Cole Johnson. Yep, Cole Johnson, number 8 for the Cardinals. Count moves to 1-0. Driggers still hanging out over on third, and Johnson thought about swinging at that one, and they counted to the strike. I think he thought it was heading out. Great pitch there by McMaster to really straddle the line of that strike zone. Count is at 1-1. 1 out for Landrum and a runner on third, down by 3 at the bottom of the first inning. And make that a 2-1 count. That one was way out there. There's the pitch, and a little too low and a little too far to the inside. So move the count to 3-1 now. Cole Johnson with the chance to really swing at just about anything here. And always come back to it on the next pitch should something go wrong. And Johnson's going to take a moment to prepare for this one. Can't really be sure what McMaster's going to throw here. And that one too far to the outside. Johnson gets walked. So Landrum now with runners on first and third. Keep the camera on Driggers since he's closer to scoring. And Landrum, I believe, is called time. Somebody did. And now both teams meeting up. Landrum over at third, Christchurch on the mound. Headed to the plate for the Cardinals is going to be Wesley Shipman, who was on the JV roster when we streamed their game on Friday. I do not believe he got any playing time in that game, but his brother, I'm assuming it's his brother, Carson Shipman, had an excellent game pitching in that 8-0 win over the Greer Middle College Blazers. Landrum looked, fantastic in that game. Both teams kind of getting their ducks in a row here. Again, up at bat now is Wesley Shipman, number 17. Got runners on first and third. Only 1 out notched as well. Beckett Driggers over on the left-hand side of your screen, outside of frame on first base is Cole Johnson. Johnson's trying to steal second, and they just let him go. Not quite able to get it over there in time. So now Landrum with runners on second and third. Shipman with an opportunity to really get something done here. First pitch goes down as a strike. So the count's at 0-1 and make it 1-1. That one well too low. Wesley Shipman, one of several players on this roster that we saw during the JV basketball season, alongside Blaine Silver, and I believe I saw Mark Baker on the roster as well. That goes down as ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Wesley Shipman. Jack Clark and Braden Lance, also basketball players. And Shipman lets that one go. It counts as strike 2. Count is at 2-2. 1 out. Landrum down by 3. They've got a great opportunity to score here, but Shipman's got to find a way to beat this pitching game of Patrick McMaster. See what McMaster dials up here. Here's the pitch, and that one goes way over the strike zone. I think he might have been trying to get a curveball going on that one. So, you can feel the tension brewing. 3-2 count now for Wesley Shipman with 1 out and runners on second and third base. Shipman really hugging that home plate, and that strikes him out. So now 2 outs Notched by the Cavaliers. They've got a chance to get off the field here. All that's standing between them and the second inning is Landrum's pitcher, Matthew Hodges. Had an up and down first inning on the mound. We'll see how his trip to the plate fares. And Hodges almost gets hit there. So move the count to 1-0. Again, runners on second and third base. And both of them are runners that really have some speed too. 2 outs, Landrum down by 3. McMaster trying to get that out at second, and Johnson is going to be safe. Had a nice dive there. Throw from McMaster a little bit to the outside as well. So still only 1 pitch thrown to Hodges so far. And again, he's lining up pretty close to the inside of the batter's box. 1-0 count. And make it a 2-0 count. That's actually a live ball, and Driggers is not going to try that one. Move it to 2-0. And did Hodges call time? No, looks like he's just going to take a practice swing. He didn't even take a practice swing, just kind of backed off for a moment. So here's pitch number 3 from McMaster to Hodges. And that was close. They call it ball 3. Though not too much lost in the pitch count here because with 2 outs and the bases all but loaded like this, Hodges does have to be careful with what he hits. If he gets out at first, the inning is over. And Hodges just lets that one go. And so now, headed to the plate is, let me double check my roster here. This is Jack Clark, another basketball player. Bases loaded for the Cardinals. Clark, batter number 6 for Landrum with 2 outs. And awaiting the first pitch from McMaster. Here it is, and too high. Going to be ball 1. Clark about a half step further to the outside of that batter's box than the folks that have come before him. There's the hit from Clark, headed for the infield. That went almost straight up, and that's going to do it. Caught by the second baseman. And so, man, Christchurch dodging a huge bullet there. Landrum had the bases loaded and just unable to capitalize. So keep the score at 3-0 in favor of the Cavaliers as we head to the top of the second inning. Christchurch going to see if they can notch on a few more runs or if Matthew Hodges can get that pitching game dialed in for the Cardinals. Back in a moment for the start of the second inning. All right, we're ready to roll. Christchurch back at the plate to kick off or to start off the second inning, I should say. And a strike notched by Hodges to start the second inning off. Move the count to 0-1 for batter number 8 on the Christchurch lineup card. This is Roddy Barrett. I believe that's Roddy. Could be Rody. And I think that's going to go down as ball 1. Yep, that one well off to the outside. Count at 1-1 now. Christchurch trying to extend that 3-0 lead they took early in the first inning, and that's not going to help out. Move the count to 1-2 between Hodges and Barrett now. Hodges did notch a strikeout in the first inning. Had a pop fly caught right at home plate as well, and that'll go down as ball number 2. And Hodges gets a swing and a miss there and strikes Barrett out. Hodges notching his second strikeout of the game. And now headed to the plate is the final batter in the lineup. This is Hagen. Let me double check that. Kremnalev. Hagen Kremnalev. And Kremnalev's going to start his trip to the plate out with a ball. Count is at 1-0. And that's, again, right there, I thought he had a strike. Instead, they call it ball number 2. So the count is at 2-0 for Kremnalev. No runners on base, no out, or 1 out. Here's pitch number 3 from Hodges, too far to the outside. That is going to be ball number 3. And they call that a strike. No. Yeah, I was, okay. Man, even Kremnalev thought he got walked there. That was way off to the side, but they call it a strike. Hodges got one more chance. 3-1 count. This is going to be pitch number 5. And Kremnalev lets that one go. We got a 6th pitch coming up. Hodges is going to try and notch yet another strikeout. 3-2 count, and now time called by the Landrum bench. Got a coach heading over to the field. Going to do a little talking with the umpire. I thought he was going to give a signal to Hodges, and now the umpire and the first base official actually going to have a talk here. I would say that they were discussing whether or not pitch number 4 was a ball, but I wouldn't think Landrum would protest that since it went their way. And I suppose they've got everything sorted out. So a 3-2 count now for Kremnalev. Yep, that's what they were getting. Their ducks in a row with the count. 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, no runners on base. Here's the pitch from Hodges, and he gets walked. That was right on the line. So now Christchurch has a runner on first. This is how the first inning started out for them. Jackson Rep got walked and then stole 2 bases after that. So keep an eye on Kremnalev here. And speak of the devil, Rep actually back at the plate. Christchurch back to the top of their lineup. And Kremnalev taking off, and just not enough power on that throw from the catcher. 3rd time we've seen that so far. I have been told that, I don't know, I believe it was actually, my father and I were discussing the throw from center field back to the catcher's mound. And he said it was actually faster for the center fielder to throw it to the catcher than the catcher to throw it, or throw it to the pitcher, and then the pitcher to throw it to the catcher. Not sure if that works on throws over to second base, but maybe something to take a look at if that continues to be a problem. So count is at 0-1 now for 1-1 for Jackson Rep. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on second, and Kremnalev after he stole that base just a moment ago. Awaiting pitch number 3 from Hodges, and whoa, that was way out there. I think that might have slipped out of his hand. Going to be ball number 2. And nice pitch from Hodges there, goes right down the line, trying to notch an out at first. That was close, and they got him. Great throw by the shortstop there. Believe that was Jack Clark. I'll double check the number here. Forgot to bring my binoculars. And so that's going to be out number 2. Again, I'll grab that number here in a second, though. I am reasonably sure that was Jack Clark. And now cheating up for this one, and to no avail. I think that Chemigan might have shown bunt there for a moment, and that Landrum infield really came into the grass. Goes down as ball number 1. Although Rep got out, Kremnalev was able to get over to third base. So Christchurch in scoring position here, 2 outs, and move the count to 1-1. Got a swing and a miss there from Chemigan. This is pitch number 3 between Hodges and Chemigan. That ball is loose, and Kremnalev does not take off. Would have been out number 3 if they got him. So that actually counts as a strike. The catcher just unable to bring it in there at the tail end of it. So a 1-2 count now between Hodges and Chemigan. This is going to be pitch number 4. And goes right down the middle. This one's up in the air. Can the catcher grab it? Yes! And Landrum able to get off the field there. Christchurch had a runner on third, and Hodges with a very nice display of pitching to close that inning out. And an excellent catch there by the catcher. I believe that is Hyder, though I'll double check on the roster. Can't quite see what number he's wearing. It's either a 10 or an 18. Can't see it because of the catcher's gear. And yeah, Mark Baker is number 10, and Mark Baker is taller than that. So that's Blaine Silver, the catcher. Excellent catch to close out the top of the second inning, and Christchurch going to get ready for their second trip on defense. Landrum getting ready to send their man to the plate. I believe this is going to be number 19, Adam Hyder. Or check that. That was Hyder on the mound. Hyder's wearing 19. Silver's wearing 18. So, yep, Adam Hyder was the one with the catch to close out the top of the second inning. That was not Blaine Silver. So while we wait on everyone to get warmed up, going to take a quick break. Christchurch up 3-0 at the bottom of the second. All right, and it looks like we are ready to get Landrum's second at-bat underway. Adam Hyder on the plate, Patrick McMaster on the mound for the Cavaliers. Here's the first pitch for McMaster, and Hyder lets that one go. It'll go down as ball number 1. Pitch number 2 from McMaster goes right down the middle and hit, fouled off toward third. Count's going to move to 1-1. Hyder just a tad late on that swing. And Hyder hits this one, and they call out a foul ball. That one, oh man, it just hopped over the line. I mean, maybe a foot away from third base. Adam Hyder maybe a couple of inches away from getting a base hit out of that one, but instead, count moves to 1-2. Had one ball, and Hyder has fouled it off toward third twice. We'll see if he tries to swing a little bit earlier here, or if he goes conservative and see if McMaster just ends up walking him. And there's a swing and a miss. Hyder headed back to the dugout. Christchurch able to notch their first out of Landrum's second at-bat. Now headed to the plate is, I believe this is going to be number 1, Dylan Collins. Yep, Dylan Collins at the plate. Man, really close to the inside of that batter's box. We'll see how McMaster adapts to that. And he kind of took a step back there at the end of that pitch, did Collins. Goes down as ball number 1. Awaiting the second pitch from McMaster, and that will be ball number 2. Two and 0 count for Dylan Collins. Swings and misses. That'll be strike 1. Nice swing, just that one. I mean, that had some serious heat on it. Great pitch by McMaster. Just a straight fastball. And enough to get Collins to swing. So move the count to 2-1. Christchurch looking for their second out, and that's going to be strike 2. Low into the outside, but still in the strike zone. So a 2-2 count now for Dylan Collins. Landrum was able to hold defensively on the last at-bat for Christchurch. Didn't allow them to score any runs. And Christchurch looking to return the favor here, and a swing and a miss from Collins. McMaster notching his second strikeout of the inning. Headed to the plate now, batter number 9. This is, I believe, Dunaway. Yep, Reese Dunaway. Number 23, one of the outfielders for the Cardinals. And Dunaway a bit further to the outside of the batter's box, pretty close to the center. No runners on base, 2 outs, and whoa, that one was way out there. I don't think he would have been able to hit that if he were standing on home plate. Way off to the side from McMaster. McMaster got a really big strike zone to work with here. Dunaway not really squatting down for this one, and does squat down there at the tail end of that pitch, and looked like he might have gotten hit. Couldn't quite tell what that bounced off of. They call it ball 2. Count is 2-0 now for Dunaway. And again, got his back rigid. Squats down, and that one too low. Ball 3. So a 3-0 count now for Dunaway. McMaster has walked a handful of Cardinals so far. I believe 3. This would be 4 if the count holds. And they call that a strike. I think Dunaway might have thought he was getting walked too. So a 3-1 count now for Dunaway. 2 outs, no runners on base. Landrum still has not gotten on the scoreboard. And another swing and a miss from Dunaway. So what started as a 3-0 count has moved to 3-2. And McMaster with the advantage here. Looking to close out the second inning. Just needs one more pitch to do it. We'll see if he's got it. And there's a hit off toward third, and the third baseman cannot bring it in. Reese Dunaway with a base hit for the Cardinals. And we will play on. Beckett Driggers headed to home plate. Landrum back at the top of their batting order. Driggers got walked in the first inning. Stole 2 bases, I believe. And then Landrum was just unable to score at the very end of the first. We'll see if Driggers has better luck here. Got a left-handed batter going up against a right-handed pitcher. Should be interesting. And McMaster kind of looking Dunaway back over onto the bag at first. He was playing a little off. And Driggers taking a moment to catch his breath, maybe kind of examine the situation a little bit. Looked like he might have been given a signal over to Dunaway saying, don't go too crazy, we've got 2 outs. And they're going to try to get him, and nice dive there. McMaster trying to close the inning out right then and there. Heads up play by Dunaway to stay alive, and now he's right back off the bag. Still awaiting the first pitch from McMaster to Driggers. And here it is, headed off towards second is Dunaway, slides, and he's safe. Another excellent dive from Reese Dunaway. So now Landrum with a runner on second, still 2 outs. That goes down as ball number 1 between McMaster and Driggers. This only the second pitch between them, and Driggers nails that one into the open space between center and right field. And a sidearm throw too far to the outside. Dunaway scores, and Beckett Driggers gets a double out of it. Landrum finally strikes at the bottom of the second inning with 2 outs. Reese Dunaway makes it home, and the score moves to 3-1. Now at the plate, Anderson Keene. That was an excellent hit by Driggers, right into the open field. We'll see how McMaster responds after giving up the run there. And pitches high. That'll go down as ball number 1 for Keene. And trying to steal third now is Driggers. That's close, and he's safe. Beckett Driggers rolling in the dice, and it pays off. Landrum with a runner on third. Now in scoring position once again. Anderson Keene at the plate. Did get a hit in the first inning, got thrown out at first, but it was enough to move Driggers over to third, and he fouls that one off, swung a little late and a little low, so move the count to 2-1. Still 2 outs, notched by Christchurch so far. If they get Keene out at first again, the inning is over, and Landrum comes up all but empty-handed. Driggers playing way off of third base. Here's the pitch, and right over to third. They're going to try to get Keene, and he's out. So Anderson Keene having a rough go of it to start this one. Landrum able to notch 1 run and had a runner on third, but could not capitalize. It's 3 times now that either team has had a runner on third and has not been able to score. Both defenses holding strong in that second inning as we move to the top of the third. Landrum cutting into that lead, but Christchurch back to the top of their batting order, or at least close to it. We'll see if they can notch on a couple more runs in the top of the third. Back in a moment. Christchurch leading 3-1. All right, and Christchurch ready to start things back up. Landrum got to take another moment to get everyone back in position. Effectively won the second inning, scored 1 run to Christchurch's 0, though Christchurch still in the lead by way of those 3 runs they scored early on in the first. Going to be interesting to see how things shake out here. Here's the first pitch from Hodges, and they call it a ball. Sounded like the crowd thought it might have been a strike. Pitch number 2 from Hodges. At the plate now, I believe, is Will Maguette, the first Christchurch player to score, or check that, the second Christchurch player to score. Jackson Rep was the first. Fouls that one off, so the count's going to move to 1-1 between Hodges and Maguette. And third pitch, a little too far to the outside. Move that one to 2-1. And here's pitch number 4. That'll be ball 3. Hodges throwing another one right on the line. 3-1 count now for Maguette. Scored in the first inning and gets walked this time around. So maybe not the start Landrum and Hodges envisioned to the third inning, but much better than hitting a home run, I suppose. Headed to the plate now is J.W. Wisenhunt. Wisenhunt, one of those two. Number 8, and trying to get an out at first on Maguette. I think he made it to first anyway, but would have been safe either way because the first baseman not able to hang on to that throw. Cole Johnson over there for the Cardinals. And now heading over for second. Can they make this throw? No, that one is loose, and I thought Maguette might actually try and make a break for third. Instead, he sticks around. Wisenhunt at the plate, only with a 1-0 count so far. Hodges really has not gotten many pitches in this inning, save for walking Maguette earlier. Here's another pitch, and that one way to the inside. Just about kneecapped Wisenhunt there, so move the count to 2-0. And make it 3-0. That one too far to the outside. Hodges maybe overcompensating a little bit on that one. So a 3-0 count now for J.W. Wisenhunt, one of the cleanup hitters for Christchurch, with a runner on second and no outs. Can't draw up a much better situation for the Cavaliers. And there's the hit. Can Landrum grab this one? It's going to be close. And no! A diving catch unable to be made by the center fielder. And the Landrum defense doing their job, though, holding it to a single. So Christchurch not able to score, but able to get in a nice base hit there. They were close. I think Maguette might have been able to make it if he really dove for home at the end of that one, but playing it safe. And now with no outs and runners on first and third, batter number 5, Lujak Cole, number 10, headed to the plate for the Cavaliers. And we got a time call, though it looks like just for a moment. Hyder may have needed to readjust his equipment there. Still waiting the first pitch between Hodges and Cole. And that one loose for a moment. I think Wisenhunt thought about trying to steal second. Instead stays home. Pan over to get Will Maguette in frame should he score. Count goes down as a strike, so the count is at 0-1. Though still no outs notched by the Cardinals in this inning. There's the pitch, and now trying to make a break for second is Wisenhunt, and they let him go. So Christ Church in solid territory once again. Runners on second and third with an 0-2 count and no outs for the batter, Lujak Cole. And Cole hits pitch number 3 but fouls it off toward first. Again, that was another pitch that was right on the line but just skips to the outside of the bag there. So keep the count at 0-2. Christchurch still in very solid position, but maybe not so solid after that. Cole gets struck out by Hodges. So Landrum finally able to notch that first out of inning number 3. Headed to the plate for the Cavaliers is number 9, Ryan Coley, batter number 6 in the lineup. Still got runners on second and third. Coley lets that one go. Gonna go down as ball 1, a little too far to the outside. And Coley lets that one go as well. Move the count to 2-0. 2 pitches a little too far to the outside. And now Landrum's second baseman and shortstop actually cheating up here. They call that strike 1. Dangerous move because Coley, I believe, was one of those players that had an excellent hit all the way into the outfield in the first inning. This Landrum defense starting to get aggressive. We'll see if it pays off. Maybe going for that double play should he hit this, and instead they're just going to try and notch an out at first, and I don't think they got him. I actually never even saw the ball get thrown. Not sure if it's just because of how bright it is and it may be being difficult to see the ball out here, but that does not go down as an out. Coley makes it over to first base, and now Christchurch has the bases loaded with a left-handed batter at the plate against a right-handed pitcher. 1 out for the Cavaliers. Runners on first, second, and third. Already up 2-1, and letting that one go is number 2 for the Cavaliers. That is Brady Sisson. So start the count out at 1-0. And move it to 2-0. That one too far to the outside. Or no, they called one of those a strike, so the count's actually at 1-1. I don't know though at this point. Is it in hot? Oh, loose ball! And Christchurch on the verge of scoring. They've got one. That is Will Marguette getting home for the second time this game, and the Cavaliers extend the lead back out to 3. And still have runners on second and third. Count is at 2-1. Brady Sisson still at the plate. This is going to be pitch number 4, and oh, great catch there by Hodge. Oh no, and he overthrew his third baseman. Christchurch is going to score again, and going for run number 6. They've got it. Oh man, so maybe too much of a good thing. Christchurch gets the lead out to 6-1. Landrum able to notch that second out, but other than that, Christchurch dominating on that play, and Landrum calls time. Going to try and get Hodges sorted out here. Looks like they may actually be changing pitchers, not quite sure. Cole Johnson kind of cleaning off the mound, but I'm not sure if he's just getting it ready for Hodges to go back. They're having a conversation there. I mean, that was an excellent play by Hodges to start out. Threw that one right down Main Street, got hit, and then caught it. Man, headed right for the catcher's mound, and then maybe just trying to get too much done there. Slung it off toward third, overthrew his man, and that was that. Christchurch scores 2 more runs, and it does look like Landrum is going to switch pitchers. This is number 18, so this is Blaine Silver. Thought he was a catcher earlier. That was number 19, Adam Hyder, on the catcher's mound. So Blaine Silver, indeed, on the mound for the Cardinals. And we'll take a quick break while he gets warmed up. Christchurch up 6-1 at the top of the third. 2 outs notched. Landrum, I should say, looking for number 3. All right, so Blaine Silver really not getting a ton of time to warm up. We'll see if that influences his pitching decisions a little bit here, if he goes less for the fastballs and more for the fancy stuff. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. 2 outs notched by the Cardinals, but Silver, I mean, I don't think he's played all day and got to throw maybe 10 warm-up pitches to start out. We'll see how this goes, and that one is swing and a miss there by batter number 8. This is Roddy Barrett at the plate. So Blaine Silver's first pitch is a strike, starting out strong. And that'll be strike 2. And there's the hit. Silver going to try and just toss this one over to first, and they've got him. So Landrum able to kind of plug up the holes at the end of that inning, or at the end of that at-bat. Bottom of the third coming up, and this Landrum offense going to have to find a way to get some more runs in if they want to come back here. Landrum down 6-1 after a rough and tumble third inning. They've still got a chance to make it up. Bottom of the third coming up here in just a moment. We'll let everyone get warmed up. Christchurch on top 6-1 when we come back. All right, so we are halfway through this one, bottom of the third inning. We're only playing to 5. Landrum with some work to do, and That's not going to help. Pitch number 1 from McMaster to Cole Johnson goes down as a strike. And Johnson swings, hits that one over to the second baseman, and it's going to be close. They got him. Will Margouet notching the out there. He has had an excellent game so far for the Cavaliers. It continues there on defense. Now headed to the plate is number 17, Wesley Shipman for the Cardinals. I tell you, this pitching game from Patrick McMaster so far, he's had, a few wily ones like that. Walked a good many runners, but for the most part, I mean, Landrum has really not gotten in the sort of big hits that Christ Church has at this point. They had one that they scored on a bit earlier, but other than that, it has mostly been just grounders and foul balls. And there is another grounder making his way over to first to Shipman. He slows down. I'm not sure why, and something went really wrong there. They blow that play dead. I didn't see it hop over the line. I don't know what happened. And they call it ball 2. Got some odd stuff happening there. 2-0 count for Wesley Shipman. Here's the pitch from McMaster, and it's too far to the outside. That'll be ball number 3. And Shipman gets hit by the pitch. So Landrum gets a runner on base. We'll keep an eye on Shipman. Just about everybody that's gotten on first at this point has at least made an effort to steal second. I believe actually every attempt to steal second has been successful for both sides. Neither catcher really able to make that throw over to second base. At the plate now is Matthew Hodges, the pitcher who got pulled just a few moments ago. Showing bunt here, and now trying to steal second is Shipman, and they never saw him. Great setup there by Hodges. Showed bunt, got everybody to cheat up just a little bit. Count's going to move to 1-0. Landrum with a runner on second, and now Christ Church's catcher heading out to the mound to try and get everything straightened out. Umpire's going to take a moment to dust off the plate. One and 0 count now between McMaster and Hodges. Hodges showing bunt once again, and they were just trying to get him to cheat up another loose ball, and Wesley Shipman steals third. Landrum getting a little tricky here. I like it. Wesley Shipman on third base. 2-0 count for Matthew Hodges. We'll see if they can bring Shipman home. They could certainly use the runs at this point. Bottom of the third, down 6-1. And a swing and a miss from Hodges. Move the count to 2-1. Now, might have an interesting development here with the score. I'm not sure if there's just a broken light on the scoreboard or something, but they actually only have Christ Church listed at 5 runs here. And, I mean, I know they got 6. Because they had 3 going into the top of the third, then Will Margouet scored, and then they had the double hitter after that. So that would have gotten them to 6. So we'll keep an eye on that. Again, there could just be a light out on the scoreboard, so the 6 just looks like 5. And in the meantime, Matthew Hodges gets walked. So now Landrum with runners on first and third. Headed to the plate now is Jack Clark. No, check that, Blaine Silver in for Jack Clark. Wesley Shipman on third base to the left of your screen. Off to the right and out of frame in a moment is Matthew Hodges, though we'll keep an eye on him, see if he tries to steal second. Awaiting the first pitch from McMaster. Here's Jack Clark, and trying to go over toward third there for a moment, and then looks toward first, kind of getting everybody back in position. I don't really know that he had much of an intent of throwing that one. Still awaiting the first pitch from McMaster. This is Blaine Silver's first at-bat of the game, and lets the first pitch go. It goes down as a strike. Move the count to 0-1. Make it, oh, I call that a strike. That was way out there. So an 0-2 count now for Blaine Silver. Runners on first and third. And only one out notched, but Landrum kind of in a tough spot here. We'll see what Silver's able to dial up. Here's the third pitch from McMaster. Trying to steal second is Hodges. This is going to be close, and nope, they just let him go. So runners on second and third now. 1-2 count for Blaine Silver. Awaiting pitch number 4 from McMaster. And Silver gets a piece of that one a little too low and fouls it off. Man, if he'd brought that up just an inch or two more, we could have been looking at an excellent hit. Right into dead space, too, in the gap between right field and the center field. That looked like about where that one was headed, judging by where it hit the net in front of us. Woulda, shoulda, coulda at this point. 1-2 count still for Blaine Silver. This is going to be pitch number 5 from McMaster to Silver. And Silver lets that one go. It'll be ball 2. You can hear that Landrum dugout starting to make some noise. They can feel it brewing. If they're able to score here, they are going to be right back in it, but they've got to really put the pedal to the metal and get a run in here. Pitch number 6 from McMaster, and it's ball 3. So this count was at 0-2 just a few moments ago. 3 straight balls thrown by Patrick McMaster. And now Blaine Silver maybe in danger of getting walked. Adam Hyder is on deck for the Cardinals. Pitch number 7, and Silver, that's actually a loose ball, and Wesley Shipman is going to score. Not sure if Silver got hit or not, but it's still going to count as a walk. But Patrick McMaster might have had that one slip out of his hand there, and Landrum finally able to score once more. Wesley Shipman makes it home, and the score moves to 6-2. Landrum with runners on first and third with 1 out. And now Christchurch going to have a little conference over on the mound to try and figure out what happened there. That one just way too far to the outside. The catcher really didn't have a chance to bring it back in. And Wesley Shipman just turns on the jets, makes it over from third to home plate, and that was that. That's actually how Christchurch got a lot of their runs in the first inning. Just pitches that went a little too far to the left or right, weren't able to be brought in, and just had a runner come in from third base and steal home. Adam Hyder at the plate now for the Cardinals, batter number 7 in the lineup. Got a substitution over on first base. Blaine Silver is out. He's replaced by, try and get a number here in a second. In the meantime, Hyder showing bunt and now making his way over to second is that player. I believe that's number 7, which would be making Peyton Morgan, but I can't quite make out the number from here. But Landrum, all that really matters right now is that they've got runners on second and third. Here's the second pitch, and that one is loose! Going for it is Hodges, and Hodges slides home. He's got it. Landrum has cut the lead in half now. Back to a 3-run deficit. Count is actually at 2-0 now for Hyder as well. So now just one runner over on third base. Landrum about has it cleaned up. 2-0 count for Hyder. And that one to the outside, but reeled in by the catcher, and that is Peyton Morgan, the substitute over on third base now. That's going to be ball number 3 for Hyder. Dylan Collins on deck for the Cardinals. Here's pitch number 4, and got hit there. And Peyton Morgan trying to capitalize there. They blow that one dead. So Adam Hyder heads over to first base. It's the 3rd time, I believe, that McMaster has hit someone with the pitch. And are they going to pull him? Or bringing someone over to the mound? Dylan Collins going to head to the plate for Landrum after this break, and I can't tell you for sure, but I think they might be pulling McMaster here. And indeed they are. McMaster is out. And it looks like, I believe that's the second baseman, which would be Will Marguette. It's either 21 or 10, so going to be Will Marguette or Lujak Cole, one of those two. Oh, and we've got a guest up in the booth. Going to mute the microphone for a second. All right, I want to apologize for the mispronunciation. The player I've been calling Will Marguette is pronounced Will Margy. It's a French name. And Margy is going to be the new pitcher for the Cavaliers here. Again, apologize for that mispronunciation. Will Margy, number 21. On the mound, so Patrick McMaster getting pulled there. Christchurch gave up 2 runs there at the bottom of the 3rd. Landrum maybe starting to get a little bit of momentum. Though earlier on in the game, the bottom of the lineup did not fare too well. Or Dunaway, I believe, got walked, and Collins got struck out. Hyder, though, I believe, got struck out or walked as well. One of the two. I don't recall him getting a big hit in. No, Adam Hyder, excuse me. Actually over on first base now. Landrum in full-on warm-up mode over there. Will Margy still getting ready. Again, going to be interesting to see just how long they give him to warm up. I remember Blaine Silver really only got about 10 pitches in before they started the game back up. And doesn't look like Margy is going to get many more. Everyone's starting to get back in position. Dylan Collins ready to head to the plate, and I think they're going to give him one more pitch, and that'll be all. Peyton Morgan over on third for the Cardinals. Dylan Collins about to head to the plate. Will Margy, the new pitcher for the Cavaliers. Only one out notch by Christchurch so far. Landrum was down 5-0 at the beginning of this at-bat. Slowly but surely starting to cut into this lead, but they're going to need to continue that. Preferably on this at-bat if they want to have a chance here. That Christchurch offense looked awfully good the last time they made it to the plate. And Margy looking dialed in here. Got a little bit of a sidearm release. That's letting him get a little bit of extra zip on the ball. At the cost of a bit of a windup. His windup is a tad lengthier than McMaster's was, though. Again, that's the football fan in me shining through. Again, windup have not really noticed any issues with lengthy windups in baseball. It doesn't really affect anything, whereas in football, you know, if it takes you too long just to complete your throwing motion, you run the risk of not having your receiver be in the right place once the ball gets out of your hands, or the defensive line being able to come in and get a hand on it as it's coming out. Though, again, no real repercussions for long windups in baseball. And Able to steal second there is Hyder. They actually might have subbed him out too. Can't quite make out a number. Runners on second and third. Dylan Collins, actually a 1-0 count. Forgot to update the ticker there. And here's the second pitch. Collins just tried to bunt that one, and it goes down as a strike. Couldn't quite bring it in. And, man, that first baseman is really cheating up for Christ Church. And Collins backs off, tries to hit it, and I think he might have gotten a piece, maybe. It still goes down as a strike. So a 1-2 count now for Dylan Collins. On deck for the Cardinals is Reese Dunaway. And Collins really getting up close to home plate here. This is only going to be the fourth pitch from Margie so far. And both sides kind of taking a breather here. You can feel the tension brewing. There's a lot riding on this one pitch. And Dylan Collins calls time. Wants to get in a few more practice swings. I think he might be feeling the heat too. Again, it's hard to explain on stream, but anyone who's been to one of these live high school games like this just knows the feeling when things start getting tense, and you can kind of see the tension there in that dive for second. They were not wasting any time in getting back there. One and two count for Collins, and whoa, that was way out there. So move it to 2-2. Collins gonna get another crack at it. Landrum dugout still starting to make some noise in support of their teammate. 2-2 count for Collins, and I call that a strikeout. That was right on the line. Great pitch from Margie. I think it might have curved out on Collins there right at the end as it was headed over the plate, and that was enough to notch strike number 3. Dylan Collins is out. Reese Dunaway headed to the plate. Runners on second and third, but 2 outs notched by the Cavaliers. Landrum really needs Dunaway to come up clutch here. And, oh, nice curve back to the inside on that one. That'll go down to strike 1. Margie just 2 pitches away from closing this inning out and putting another major scoring opportunity for the Cardinals to rest. And a swing and a miss there from Dunaway. An 0-2 count with 2 outs. And runners on second and third. Landrum down by 3. That tension starting to brew again. Here's the pitch from Margie, and hitting this one right over to center field, and it is caught. Landrum unable to capitalize a second time. Tough sledding for the Cardinals on offense. They've got 3 runs, but Christ Church has 6 and a chance to notch on a couple more. We'll see if Blaine Silver can hold the Cavaliers in check or if they're able to build on this lead even further. 6-3 in favor of the Cavs as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Back in a moment. And looks like we're about ready to get inning number 4 underway. Blaine Silver on the mound, just his second inning pitching here for the Cardinals, and sends that one too far to the outside. Hyder unable to bring it in, so would have been a rough go of it for the Cardinals, but no runners on base yet for the Cavaliers, so no harm, no foul at this point. 1-0 count to start. Hagen Kremnalev back at the plate, and that one too far to the outside as well. Make it ball number 2 thrown by Blaine Silver. Kremnalev just let them both go so far. And he lets that one go as well. Ball 3, so a 3-0 count to start out for Hagen Kremnalev, going up against the relief pitcher in Blaine Silver for the Cardinals. And Kremnalev sends this one up right over our equipment and out over the fence. So foul ball, first strike there, notched by Silver. There's the pitch, low and to the outside. Kremnalev gets walked. So Christchurch now with a runner on first, back to the top of their lineup. This is Jackson Rupp at the plate, number 4. Rupp had 2 stolen bases on his first at bat and then got out on a routine base hit to first, and now, oh, he thought about stealing second. They might have gotten him. That was really close, and they call Kremnalev safe. Just unable to get the throw over there in time. Kremnalev probably going to back off that bag just a little bit after that one. Yep, he is definitely closer to first base now, though he might be waiting for Silver to wind up. And trying to make his way over to second now. Kremnalev makes it. Nice zip on that throw from Hyder, but just a little bit too far to the left. Great catch by Jack Clark, but man, maybe half a second away from notching that out. So Christchurch with runners, or with 1 runner on second now. 2-0 count for Jackson Rupp. Whoa, and right over his head. Almost got hit there, so move the count to 3-0. And that's going to be ball number 4. So Christchurch gets runners on second, or first and second. Headed to the plate now, number 22, second batter in the lineup for the Cavaliers. And they call that strike number 1 for Silver. 0-1 count to start. And time is called by Christchurch. They'll swing their man over to third base, try and get a few points of advice in. Christchurch with runners on first and second when we come back. And we're back. Pretty short stoppage of play there. 0-1 count. Blaine Silver on the mound for the Cardinals, and move the count to 1-1. That one too far to the outside. Oh, and a nice hit there right into the outfield, and a nice catch made there, but it's going to be a base hit for the Cavaliers, who now have the bases loaded. And who else to head to the plate at this point but number 21, Will Margie, who's been having an excellent game so far, both offensively, defensively, and pitching now as well. Gonna have a chance, yep, he's got a chance here to notch a grand slam if all the cards align. I actually don't think I've seen a single home run on either of the baseball fields so far. Seen a couple in softball, but no home runs in baseball yet. And nothing happening there either. Count's going to move to 1-0 for Margie. Christchurch all but guaranteed to score if Margie can get a hit in, and Silver throws that one a little too far to the outside. Definitely a hittable ball, but Margie lets it go, moves the count to 2-0. Got a bit of an advantage here. Pitch number 3 coming in from Silver. And he lets that one go as well, and they call it a strike. 2-1 count for number 21. Pitch number 4 upcoming. There's the pitch and a hit right over my head and into the road. 2-2 count. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs, and the bases loaded for Christchurch. Runners on first, second, and third. Here's the pitch from Silver, and umpire's deciding that's going to be, and they call that ball 3. 3-2 count now for Will Margie. Got a chance to be the hero here for Christchurch. There's a foul ball. Kind of went off his back and then went off of his bat and then rolled down Adam Hyder's back there. So keep the count at 3-2. Still got the runner hanging out on third. He hasn't been playing too far off. Rupp has been playing pretty far off a second. Just itching for Margie to get a hit in. And now Silver having a conference with Hyder over on the mound. Will Margie getting some signals from his coaches over on third as well. There is a lot riding on this pitch, even with no outs so far notched by Landrum in the 4th inning. This is a pivotal at-bat. Will Margie with a 3-2 count, lets that one go, and after all that, Will Margie gets walked, and Christchurch is able to bring yet another runner home, so move the score to 7-3. That is Hagen can't quite remember how to pronounce that one. Kremnalev. Hagen Kremnalev scoring on that one. 7-3. Move the count back to 0-0. Still no outs notched by the Cardinals, and they're having another talk there with Blaine Silver. Oh, nope, check that. We're switching pitchers again. Didn't quite catch a number here. I'll see if I can get one in a moment. Oh, and that, maybe not the best start. Hopefully you can get it dialed in here. That was just the first warm-up pitch, and this is number 3, Jack Clark, headed to the mound for the Cardinals. Kind of shuffling through pitchers, looking for something that works at this point. We'll see if Clark can bring things home for the Cardinals. Down by 4 with no outs notched in inning number 4 of 5. So Christchurch still has the bases loaded after that walk. Hagen Kremnalev was able to make it home just a moment ago. And now J.W. Wisenhunt headed to the plate. Again, I mean, when you're looking at batting orders, this is exactly how the coaches draw it up. Get some speedy guys going first and then bring in a big cleanup hitter to hit third or fourth and notch a lot of runs in one go. Clark, though, still taking a few more moments to get warmed up. Got an interesting release here. I mean, his arm is almost perpendicular with the ground when that ball comes out of his hand. Does not go far to the side at all on his release. And now an 0-0 count for Wisenhunt. No outs notched by the Cardinals in this inning. Bases loaded for the Cavs. Here's the first pitch from Clark, and they let it go. It's going to count as a strike. Clark got a nice curve on that one. Here's the second pitch from Clark. And that'll be strike two. Low into the inside, but still in the strike zone. 0-2 count now for Wisenhunt. Landrum needs to find a way to get off the field here. And that's not going to help him out. Making his way toward home. Oh, ball's still loose. And doesn't look like Christchurch is going to be able to capitalize on the bad throw there from Hyder back to Clark. But, man, Christchurch scores again. Ball got loose, and Jackson Rupp says, thank you very much. Make it 8-3 for the Cavs, matching their biggest lead of the game when they were up 6-1 a few innings ago. 1-2 count now for Wisenhunt. Here's the pitch from Clark, low, and they call it ball two. Christchurch with runners on second and third, no one on first anymore. And a swing and a miss there. Jack Clark notches a strikeout on his first trip to the mound. And Landrum, if nothing else, certainly needed the momentum defensively there. Lou Jack Cole headed to the plate, batter number 5 in the lineup for the Cavaliers. And Clark got a nice curve on that one. You could see it dipping down. 0-1 count to start for Lou Jack Cole. And Cole really had to duck down for that one. Too far to the inside, just about took one to the helmet. So one's across the board now. And Cole lets that one go. It's going to count as strike 2. And now Lou Jack Cole with a 1-2 count to deal with. Runners on second and third. One out notched so far by the Cardinals, who are down by 5 runs. Clark looking back towards second, winds up. Here's the pitch, way too far to the inside. That's going to be ball number 2. And right down the middle, and almost caught by the first baseman, and still able to get him out. Can they get him out on third? That was really close, and Christchurch able to score again. He got there. Man, that was such an interesting play because Hyder got his glove down in time, and it went in between the gap between the runner's torso and his arm. It hit the empty air between those two. You can't get much closer than that if you're Landrum. Christchurch able to score again. Here's the pitch from Clark, and that's a hit. Headed over to second base, and a diving catch made. So that'll bring an end to the damage notched on by the Cavaliers, but Landrum with even more work to do, facing their biggest deficit of the game as we head into the bottom of the fourth. 9-3 in favor of Christ Church. Back in a moment. Yep, I just got it turned back on. I apologize for that. The sound got turned off. All right, now we got too much of a good thing with the camera. I mentioned earlier that the down command was stuck on my tripod mount, or wasn't working, and now it won't stop. Wait, have we got it? Yes, I think we got it. All right, so let me get the camera straightened back out. That'll take a moment. Count is it, or I'll wait here for a second because it counts at 1 and 2 now for Keem. Apologize for those audio difficulties. Just forgot to turn the microphone back on. 1 and 2 count and make it 2 and 2. Will Margie looking for his second strikeout of the 4th inning. And got a piece of that one and fouls it off. A little bit over my head, off to the left, off to the right. So keep the count at 2 and 2 for Keem. And hits that one off toward third this time. Fouls it again. And a swing and a miss there from Keem. 0 for 3 at the plate so far. Tough break for him. 2 outs notched by Will Margie. 2 strikeouts, I might add. Headed to the plate now is Cole Johnson, the first baseman. If you'll give me a moment, I'll get the camera straightened back out. You'll probably see it dip up toward the sky for a second. And of all the times you need to adjust there, Cole Johnson notching a triple. Just an excellent hit on that one. Wow, just what the doctor ordered for the Cardinals. Oh no, we might have needed to pan up to the sky to see that one. He got all of it. Hit it right over to the fence into that dead space between outfielders. Excellent play all around for the Cardinals. Great way to get their momentum back where it needs to be, but they've got to find a way to capitalize on it. You got a runner on third yet again. Seems like they've had one on third almost the entire game and just have not been able to capitalize on it, partially because of stuff like that. Really nice pitch there from Will Margie, even though it goes down as a ball. Started on the outside and then made a really nice curve back to the inside. 1-0 count to start for Wesley Shipman, the batter for Landrum. And Shipman gets a piece of that one. Kind of decided to swing on that one very, very late. And fouls it off. So 1-1 count now. And that one fouled off toward third. Move the count to 1-2. Swung a tad too early there. And, oh! That foul ball kind of hit the catcher on the head. That's why they wear helmets too, so keep the count at 1-2. One and two count with 2 outs and a runner on third. Wesley Shipman at the plate and hits that one. Oh, nailed it! And Landrum able to score once more. Only going to go down as a base hit. for Wesley Shipman, but more than enough to bring Cole Johnson home after that triple he hit. Landrum cuts the lead back down to 5, though still 2 outs on the board. Matthew Hodges, the starting pitcher for the Cardinals, got pulled early in favor of Blaine Silver after a missed throw over to third base, and then Silver got pulled for Jack Clark. 9-4 showing bunt here, and they didn't really have a chance at that one, but Wesley Shipman slides for it, and I think he's safe. Yep. Shipman able to steal second there. Again, I don't think a single player for either team has actually gotten out in stealing second. I think they've all made it. So the count moves to 1-0 now for Hodges. And he lets that one go. Going to move the count to 2-0. And now trying to steal third is Wesley Shipman, and he gets a really nice pitch there. That was way off to the outside. He was going no matter what. And that pitch just really helped his cause. So now Landrum with a runner on third. 3-0 count now for Matthew Johnson as well. And Hodges swings and misses. 3-1. Here's the pitch, and Hodges lets that one go, and they call it strike 2. So a 3-2 count now between Margie and Hodges. 2 outs, and Landrum has a runner on third yet again. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss. That'll be the end of the 4th inning. Landrum comes up just a bit short yet again. They're going to have one more chance to come back in this one. Well, they've got to go through Christchurch to do it first. The Cavaliers headed to the plate for the start of the 5th inning. Christchurch up 9-4 when we come back. All right, and we're back. Got a new hitter in for Christchurch now. This is number 7, so Jack Clark got a bit of a different challenge to deal with here. Here's the first pitch of the 5th inning. And got a hit right over to second base and caught. 7 is out. Got a nice hit in there, just couldn't quite get the right angle on it. So Landrum makes quick work of getting that first out. Oh, and that's a foul. Landrum's still going to try to catch it, and might have hopped over the fence there, or just barely hits it. Criminal leave on deck for the Cavaliers. 0-1 count to start here. Clark winding up. Here's the throw. Oh, and a nice curve there, but they call it a ball. That one had a really good dip on it. Just didn't get down far enough. 1-1 count now. Here's the pitch. Oh, and he gets hit. And Jack Clark walks a man. Christchurch with the runner on first. And I tell you, just go ahead and be ready for him to steal second. I think at this point we all know it's coming. And it's on Landrum to find a way to stop it for both sides. Christchurch hasn't found a way to stop Landrum from doing it either. Here's the pitch. Too far to the inside for Kremnalev. He lets it go. It'll be ball number 1. And Kremnalev lets that one go as well. Too low. It'll go as ball number 2. Pitch number 3 is going to be ball number 3, and that one actually got loose. And the man on first stayed put. Christchurch not taking any chances at this point. Count moves to 3-0 for Kremnalev. Jackson Rupp on deck. This is going to be pitch number 4 from Clark right down Main Street. That'll be strike 1. Right over the center of the plate, and Kremnalev perhaps not ready for it. Still got that runner on first, and still hasn't taken off, and that's going to be ball 4. A little too high, and Christchurch now has runners on first and second. So we'll actually pan over to the center in case they try to steal third. Just know Kremnalev is still over on base number 1. In the meantime, I think we got time called by Landrum. And they're really going to talk this one over. And folks, we have got quite a development here. Landrum has swapped pitchers again. Clark was not having that bad of a game. Not a not a no-hitter by any means, but I mean, wasn't doing too terribly. And of course, of all things, my phone dies, which had Landrum's full roster on it. I know this is one of Landrum's substitutes, so I'm not sure which one. This is player number 2 for the Cardinals. I believe it's the first we've seen of him tonight. All right, so here we go. One out notched by the Cardinals. Christchurch with runners on first and second. Landrum got to find a way to hold him here to have any chance. Oh, and check that. I don't know how I forgot. Number 2 is Beckett Driggers, and his first pitch doesn't go quite so well. Off the mark, and Christchurch able to get a runner over on third now. So shifting the bases around a little bit. Beckett Driggers at the plate on the mound for the Cardinals. Jackson Rupp at the plate for Christchurch. 1-0 count to start. Here's the pitch from Driggers. That one goes down as ball number 2, just a little too far to the outside. Had some nice height on it. Just not quite in the right area. Here's pitch number 3 from Driggers. Eyeing second, now winds up, and they fouled that one off over toward third. Actually, I think I got it over the fence, yeah. All the way over to the batting cage. But it does go down as a foul ball, so I'll move the count to 2-1. Third pitch goes too far to the outside. Count moves to 3-1. And Driggers really got to find a way to strike Rupp out here. And that's going to go down as a strike. Count moves to 3-2. Again, if he walks him, the bases are loaded. And if he hits it, then so long as they don't catch it immediately, Christchurch is going to score. Here's the pitch from Driggers, and that one is hit. Up for grabs in the outfield and caught. Now making his way over towards third. Can they get him? Oh, too high from Matthew Hodges. Hyder could not bring it in. And Christchurch able to score run number 10. Time called by the Cardinals. So we'll update the counter now. Christchurch with a runner on third. First pitch from Driggers here, and this one is up for grabs and caught by Cole Johnson over at first. So Landrum's defense only gives up one more run. It's not impossible, but the Cardinals sure do have a lot of work to do. Heading into the final inning, perhaps. I'm 90% sure it's the final inning. I can't remember if JV plays to 5 or 6. I know JV softball goes to 5. I'm reasonably sure that JV baseball goes to 5 as well. Oh, got an ambulance coming by. Yeah, you know, we got Asheville Highway right behind the field. You never really know what kind of vehicles are going to come down that road. Seen 18-wheelers, fire trucks, ambulances. I think a couple of days ago, I think it was at the varsity game, we saw a souped-up car that sounded like it didn't have a muffler. That wasn't very fun. So, Will Margie on the mound for the Cavaliers, looking to close this one out. At the plate now is, I'll try and get a number, I believe that's Jack Clark. Yep, Jack Clark. Here's the first pitch, and Clark nails that one right into the open field, and looking to get a double out of it, and he's got it. I think he thought about going over to third, and I'm sure the message in the dugout over there, you know, give it everything you got, but don't bite off more than you could chew. The last thing Landrum needs is to give up an easy out. And looking to continue the streak here and build upon the momentum that Clark established with that excellent hit. Adam Hyder headed to the plate. Jack Clark over on second. Here's the pitch, and man, I don't know how Hyder didn't get hit. That had an awesome curve on it there at the end. Went right into the catcher's glove. So 1-0 count now. Margie eyeing second, now throws it, and a nice curve on that one as well. Goes down as a strike. And Margie just about hit him on that throw too, so move the count to 2-1, too far to the inside. Again, Landrum's got to find a way to score 6 runs in this inning. Not impossible, but definitely quite the undertaking. This is going to be pitch number 3, and they let that one go. Count moves to 2-2. Looked like it was a hittable ball there for Hyder. But again, Margie has really gotten that slider down. They've all been dipping to the inside at just the last second. Here's the pitch from Hyder, number 5, and got a foul ball. Just pinged it. So keep the count at 2-2. Adam Hyder awaiting what will be pitch number 6 from Will Margie. Here it comes, and Hyder swings and cannot connect. Just a straight fastball there from Margie, and Hyder is out. Christchurch just needs 2 more of those, and I believe we're going to call it a night. Dylan Collins at the plate now. He's had a rough go of it so far, been struck out twice. We'll see if he can come through here. And Collins does get hit up right over my head. Foul ball. So move the count to 0-1. Collins was able to get a piece of that one. Just swung a little bit too low. And Jack Clark making quick work of getting back on the bag. Collins lined up pretty close to the inside of the batter's box. And Margie sends that one. That goes over my head as well. So 2 fouls that went in the exact same place. Seems like if Collins could just make that one last little adjustment, he'd be in the clear. But at the same time, does Margie change up his strategy a little bit, knowing that he sent 2 balls in the exact same location with the exact same results? It's an 0-2 count for Dylan Collins. Here's the pitch. Collins nails that one up for grabs at center field and caught. So that's out number 2. Sliding home is Jack Clark. And they call him out. I thought he made it, but that's going to do it. So a double play there by the Christchurch defense. And it looks like we are going to head into the 6th inning, so Landrum going to have one more chance after all. Though again, they've got to find a way to keep Christ Church from notching on any more runs. Cavalier defense holds strong on that possession. Landrum going to head back to the mound for the top of the 6th inning back in just a moment. All right, so the Cavaliers back at the plate once again for the top of inning number 6. Will Margie going to start things out for Christ Church. Beckett Drigger still on the mound for the Cardinals. Here's the first pitch from Driggers, and a swing and a miss there from Margie. Second pitch from Driggers is a foul ball. So move the count to 0-2. Margie has been close on both of them. And Margie lets that one go. They call it ball 1. That was definitely close. Pitch number 4 coming up from Driggers to Margie, and Margie sends that one over to third. Hodges cannot bring it in initially. Sends it to Johnson at first, and Johnson misses the throw. So Landrum there with 2 missed opportunities to get Margie out. Just had so much heat on that one as it came off the bat. Hodges unable to really bring it in. I think he might have lost his hat too. Though that may just be the net in front of me. Can't really see it that well. And looks like Margie might have gotten a little banged up on that play. Hopefully he's all right. Christ Church probably going to send a substitute runner over there in a second. Both teams are going to get a chance to kind of catch their breath here. And the replacement runner for the Cavaliers being told to take his watch off. Got an equipment violation, but he's good to go. So headed over to first. Is one of the reserves for Christ Church. Now, that Margie, I'm not sure if it was an injury or if he just slid down awkwardly or what happened there, but if he's not ready to go by the bottom of the 6th, that could be a really interesting development, because Christ Church will need to warm up their 3rd pitcher of the game. Now, I don't know if that means they'll just put, man, I don't even remember who started the game for them, but I don't know if they'll just put him back in or if they'll get a 3rd guy or what. That could be something to keep an eye on if Margie's not ready to go. And there's the second pitch from Driggers, goes down to strike 2. Christchurch with a runner on first. And that's a foul ball headed into the bleachers, heads up, and it just clears everybody. This is J.W. Wisenhunt with an 0-2 count. Had 3 pitches so far, 2 strikes and a foul ball. Lou Jack Cole on deck. And he lets that one go, trying to make his way over to second now. Is that replacement runner, and he makes it. So another successful steal at second base. Move the count to 1-2. Wisenhunt has had some excellent hits so far. Here's pitch number, this will be number 5 from Driggers. And Wisenhunt lets that one go, and he gets struck out. 1 down for the Cards. Lou Jack Cole headed to the plate. And a swing and a miss there from Cole. Driggers notches another strike. Count moves to 0-1, but Christchurch does still have that runner on second. Here's pitch number 2 from Driggers to Cole. Still eyeing second. Here it is. And that's going to be ball 1. Pitch number 3 from Driggers is a hit right over to shortstop, and trying to get the man out at second, and a bad throw. Runners are loose, and Christchurch going to score at least 1 more. Goes down as a double, and an RBI for Lou Jack Cole. Christchurch extends the lead out to 7 runs. 11-4 here in the top of the 6th. Here's the first pitch from Driggers. That one's too far to the outside. Again, I apologize. I made the mistake of only having 1 copy of Christchurch's roster on my phone, and that phone is now dead. Though I believe number 9 here is a batter we have not seen to this point. Not 100% sure on that, though. And he gets a good hit in, headed over towards right field and over the heads of the outfielders. Christchurch in scoring range yet again, and Cole actually is going to stay over on third. So it goes down as a double, though Cole not really able to make it home. So keep the score at 11-4. And now Christchurch with a hitter. Yeah, we definitely have not seen this guy, number 5. With a runner on third and a runner on second now for the Cavaliers. Both of them playing pretty far off the bag, too. There's the pitch from Driggers, and got a foul ball over towards third, trying to catch it. Oh, Matthew Hodges with an excellent play. Oh, that was impressive. We'll see if Landrum can capitalize on that. And this is Rody Bryant back at the plate for the Cavaliers. And he lets that one go. It's going to be strike 1. Pan over a little bit so you can see all the runners. Christchurch still in scoring position. Here's the pitch, and lets that one go. Goes down to strike number 2. And that Landrum defense and the crowd a little bit starting to chat some. Here's pitch number 3 from Driggers, and we got a foul ball. Swung a little too late and a little too high on that one, did Bryant. So keep the count at 0-2. This is going to be pitch number 4. And strike 3, so Landrum's defense holds up there right at the end. And facing their biggest deficit of the game, though statistically not out of it. Heading back to the plate once more for what could be the final time. Again, I looked in the South Carolina High School League rulebook and it said JV games for 5 innings, but then the Chapman and Woodruff game went to 6 as well. If this went to 7, I'd be very surprised, but we'll see. In the meantime, Landrum got a lot more work to do than maybe we thought they would a few minutes ago. Back out on the mound is Will Margie. Looks like he's all right after getting banged up on that base hit he had earlier. He's in the clear to get this one rolling. Looks like Christchurch may be bringing in a few substitutes in the outfield. Not quite sure. Though Landrum, unfortunately, really hasn't gotten many balls into the outfield so far. Just been tough sledding for them at the plate. Reese Dunaway going to start things off for Landrum. He'll be followed by Beckett Driggers and then Anderson Keem after that. Landrum going to have at least 3 more players head to the plate. Dunaway the first. Bottom of the 6th inning. Landrum in need of 7 runs to keep this one alive. Here's the first pitch, and it goes down as a strike. And got a foul ball there. Kind of bounced around a little bit, so move the count to 0-2. Oh, and a great slider to the inside. Man, there's really not much you can do about that one. Dunaway gets struck out. So that's the first out notched by Christchurch in this inning. I tell you, Margie just picking right back up where he left off in that last inning. Really spent the 5th kind of getting that slider dialed in. Though might have some trouble with it here against a left-handed hitter in Driggers. And nope, just swings it the other way. It goes down as a ball, but that one definitely curved to the outside. 1-0 count for Driggers. And Driggers nails that one, but it's a foul ball. And a nice catch by one of the fans in the stands off toward third. Move the count to 1-1. Driggers getting wound up. Here's the pitch from Margie. Driggers swung just a little late. And that goes down to strike 2. And now the umpire speaking with Margie. Making some adjustments. Not quite sure what that's about. Maybe playing a little too far off to one side. Not really sure. Looks like they got it sorted out though. 1-2 count now for Driggers. And Driggers fouls that one off. Little too high on that one. Caught the top end of that ball and sent it into the dirt. So keep the count at 1-2 is going to be pitch number 5 from Margie to Driggers. Oh, and a swing and a miss there from Driggers. Will Margie notches his second strikeout of the 6th inning. And we got a substitution now. This is number 13 coming in for Anderson Keem. And a slow swing there, comes up late. Strike 1. Pitch number 2 goes down. Oh, they call it a strike. That one must have squeaked right into the strike zone at the very end. So an 0-2 count now. Margie just needs one more pitch to close this out. And ball 1. Again, not 100% sure if this is going to go to 7 innings or not. We don't have a varsity game after this, so I suppose they're in the clear to really play as long as they want. And that's going to be ball number 2. Now, if Landrum can't get in a run in this inning, I really don't know that there's going to be that much more to see by playing any further. Oh, and there's a hit. Headed to the outfield and caught. So that's at least going to bring an end to the 6th inning. Now, is that the game? I'm not sure. Nope, we're going to 7. Why not? All right, so Landrum has had 2 last stands at this point. Hasn't really been able to get anything going on them, but now, I mean, varsity only plays the 7 innings for sure, so this has to be the last inning or they're probably going to be breaking some league rules. Becca Driggers getting warmed up on the mound. We'll be back in a few moments for the top of the 7th. All right, top of the 7th coming up. Again, looks like the Christchurch Cavaliers have most of the reserves in. I think Landrum has made a handful of substitutions as well. So that could be what the game, quote, extension is about, and, you know, making sure some of these kids get some reps when they otherwise might not have gotten to. Here we go. Driggers still on the mound for Landrum. Here's his first pitch, and it goes down as a strike. Pitch number 2 from Driggers coming up, and a swing and a miss there. Strike 2. Pitch number 3 from Driggers. Whoa, almost got hit. Nice dodge there. Acrobatic maneuver. 1-2 count now. Driggers. Here's pitch number 4, and it goes down as ball 2. So moving to 2-2. Pitch 5 coming up. And got a hit. I think this is a foul ball, but catchable by the third baseman. And oh no, it's live! And he's heading over to first. Another dropped catch by the Cardinals. And I think they're still going to call it a foul ball. So keep the count at 2-2. But man, another drop there by the Cardinals. Over on third base, they have had a lot of trouble, no matter who's been on third. It seems like it's a cursed position, and that's going to be ball 3. Another nice dodge there from 12. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be ball 4. So now he makes it over to first base. We'll see if he tries to steal. Again, I don't think a single player has gotten knocked out trying to steal second here. Headed back to the plate now as the leadoff batter for the Cavaliers. This is Jackson Rep. And trying to steal second. There he goes. And that throw too far to the outside. He makes it. In the meantime, still don't have a pitch count yet. I think it's at 0-0. I don't know that they got to throw that one. Driggers eyeing second, then sends this one, and up for grabs. Can the third baseman catch this? He's got that one. And so Landrum able to notch it out there. So Jackson Rep is out. We'll see if Landrum can tack on 2 more. And that one too far to the outside. It'll go down as ball number 1, the third batter used by the Cavaliers in this inning. Oh, and a swing and a miss there. Nice pitch there from Beckett Driggers. Move the count to 1-1. And got a foul ball there. We'll check that. Are they going to call that a foul? Yes. 1-2 count now. Here's the pitch from Driggers, sending it off toward third, and he can't make the grab. And Cole Johnson just able to bring that one in and over at first. So Christchurch with a runner in scoring position now. Man, I tell you, whoever they've put on third base, it hasn't, Will Hodges or the player over there now haven't quite gotten a number on him yet. But, I mean, I don't know if the sun's coming in at a weird angle, but everybody has had all sorts of trouble at that position. And now Will Markey back at the plate for the Cavaliers, looking to bring everyone home. Calls time real quick. And the first pitch from Driggers to Markey is a bomb. One's loose. Can Gavin make it home? I was really close and they got him. Oh, so after all that, just unable to bring it in. Not for lack of trying, though. Landrum able to notch their second out.
She got herself on that one. She got herself on that one.
Count is at 1-0. That crazy pitch actually kind of going to Landrum's favor there. I highly doubt that it was intentional, but it does work out for him. 1-0 count now for Markey. Triggers eyeing second, slings it. Whoa, that one is live as well. And they're going to make it over to third. And Margie lets that one go. Count's going to move to 3-0. It was 2-0 a second ago. J.W. Wisenhunt on deck for the Cavs. This is going to be pitch number 4 from Driggers to Margie, and he lets that one go. Margie got walked. And so now the cleanup hitter and Wisenhunt headed to the plate. Runners on first and third for the Cavaliers. Can they extend this lead even further? First pitch from Driggers to Wisenhunt is a ball, and trying to steal second now is Margie. And looks like they might have, yeah, they threw it to third. I don't know what that was about. So Margie makes it over there, no problem. It does go down as a strike though, so 0-1 count for Wisenhunt. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. Christchurch up by 7. He lets that one go. It'll be ball 1. Wisenhunt, oh, we got all of that one. And over, caught by the right fielder. So the top of the 7th comes to an end. Landrum able to keep Christchurch from building that lead up any further. They still need a lot to go. Gonna need 7 runs just to tie and force overtime. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Christchurch up 11-4 when we come back. All right, and we're going to have a little bit of a break here. Christchurch is warming up their closer. This is going to be Lou Jack Cole headed to the mound. He was on deck just a moment ago. Will Margie headed back to the dugout for what I can only assume is a well-deserved rest, or actually that might be him over on shortstop, so his evening may not be done quite yet. But Lou Jack Cole going to warm up the pitch here in just a moment. Landrum getting ready off to the right-hand side. That way you can see both of them. First pitch from Cole, too far to the outside. See if we can get it dialed in here in a few minutes. Landrum with the lineup change. This is going to be Mark Baker headed to the plate in substitution for, I believe, Wesley Shipman, or check that, Cole Johnson. Baker in for Johnson. So the reserves in for all sides now. Getting some of the younger players a couple of reps before we head out. And the first pitch for Cole goes down as a strike. Baker lets that one go. It'll be strike 2. Whoa, and that one hits the dirt. That'll be ball 1. 1-2 count now for Mark Baker. Here we go. Pitch number 4 is going to be ball 2. Cole started off strong and has since put 2 in the dirt. 2-2 count now for Baker. Pitch number 5 coming up, and swing and a miss there from Baker. That's going to be out number 1. First out of the game notched by Lujack Cole. And now 5 coming in for Wesley Shipman. Here's the first pitch and a swing and a miss there. 0-1 count to start. Lujack on top here. Pitch number 2, lets that one go, and they call it ball number 1. So move the count to 1-1 for Cole. Whoa, and that was way too far to the outside. So no runners on base, so no harm, no foul there for the Cavaliers. This is going to be pitch number 4 from Cole, and that goes down as strike 2. So a 2-2 count here for Landrum. And I believe this is Braden Lance. I think I heard his name called from the dugout there, and he fouls that one off all the way into the parking lot. Almost hit some dude's car. Man, that was close. It was like maybe 3 feet away from breaking a windshield or denting a fender or something. I don't know, does that come out of his allowance? Does he work part-time? Does he have to pay for that? I don't know. 2-2 count still. Pitch number 6 coming up. And got a swing and a miss. Another strikeout notched by Cole. We got a Josh at the plate, not sure the last name. Oh, and got a foul ball to start things off. Yeah, again, my phone died and I had the full rosters on. I got the batting lineup with only last names. So this is either, judging by the players we haven't seen yet, this is either Josh Fortner, Josh Tidwell, Josh Coates, Josh Patterson, or Josh McPeters. And unfortunately, none of those names ring a bell for me. I don't think he's been on any other JV rosters this year. And, oh dear, we're having some frame rate issues. Count moves to 1-1. Just gonna kind of keep on trucking. I don't really know what else we can do. And looks that going to go down as a ball or not? I'm not sure. And they call it ball number 2, I believe. Again, apologize for the issues. Not entirely sure what's happening here. And a nice curveball there from Cole, but doesn't dip down far enough. Count moves to 2-1 now. 3-1. Check that. 3-1 count. No runners on base. 2 outs. And he gets walked. All right, if you give me a second, I'm going to shut down Wi-Fi hotspot on and back off. I don't think we've ever left it running for this long, so that could be the issue. Well, that didn't do much. And we've gotten out over at first. Or no out, so Braden Lance still in the clear. Here's the pitch from Cole, goes down to strike 1. So move the count to 1-1. And trying to notch an out over at first, unable to pull it off. I think everybody's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me since the Wi-Fi is acting up, but everybody kind of starting looking like they're getting antsy. And that's going to go down as strike 2. Move the count to 1-2 now for, this is Peyton Morgan, number 7. Yeah, not entirely sure what's causing this. I mean, you know, cell signal usage does usually pick up around 7, 8 o'clock, but I've never seen it crash this fast before. Again, apologize for the issues, but we'll find